Sustainability Day here at our Meet the Experts Forum, and I believe the film has set the tone and shown quite well why we dedicated an entire day to this important topic. We live in a time of unprecedented challenges, that's for sure, but also, and that's the good news, brand new opportunities. We just have to know how to find them. Climate change, resource scarcity, waste generation, all this is forcing us to rethink the way we act and use and produce and manage products and materials. And two key concepts on our journey towards a sustainable future are, of course, net zero and circular economy. And that is what we want to talk about today. And you may be surprised how closely interconnected these two concepts are. Our experts in this field are Ines Bradshaw and Christopher Urbansky, and I'm really glad to have you here by my side. A warm welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And although usually I would say ladies first, I would like to start with Christopher today, since you are our expert for climate action at Krones. And I would like to start with a brief overview of the strategy, the climate and sustainability strategy at Krones. Here you go. Would you like to give us a glimpse behind the scenes?
Yes. Hello, and thank you very much for the kind introduction. So, as earlier seen, these are our global challenges. So, first off, curbing climate change. So, how serious we are about curbing climate change is demonstrated by our climate strategy. Our group has two important targets for decarbonizing our value chain. Our medium-term targets by 2030 and our net zero target by 2040. These targets have been validated by the Science-Based Target Initiative and are based on the 2019 financial year. So, but now let me give you a brief overview of our goals and emission performance along our value chain. So, in the category of Scope 1 and 2, which includes the emissions from our operations at our sites, we are making good progress toward achieving our target. Since the implementation of our climate strategy, these emissions have decreased year after year. Despite last year's breaking record revenue and high production, we managed to reduce our emissions even further compared to the previous year. In fact, we have already cut them by 52% from our base year of 2019. That's more than a half of saving targets we set for 2030. So, however, this early success does not tempt us to slow our efforts to protect the climate. On the contrary, we must continue to push forward. Our Scope 3 emissions, shown on the right side, covers the emissions from our upstream and downstream value chain. Reducing these emissions while continuing to increase our revenue is undoubtedly one of the greatest challenges we face. So in this context, it's encouraging to see that Scope 3 emissions and revenue are moving in opposite directions. So while group revenue increased by 34% from 2019 to 2024, Scope 3 emissions were reduced by 18%. So this is a strong signal. Progress in this category is possible. So to stay on this path, we are continuously improving the energy efficiency of our machines. But let's be clear, achieving our targets will only be possible if the whole the entire value chain and the global energy infrastructure undergoes a transformation. But together we can make this happen.
Wow, okay, very well said. And it is ambitious goals, that's for sure. I'm glad you're still smiling and being so positive. And you have reasons, of course, to be positive and to be proud, because scale 1 and 2 really look good already. But yeah, do you have a roadmap to achieving all these goals along the way?
Yes, for this we have developed our energy roadmap 2030. And let me show you our areas of action. To increase the efficiency, we view each of our corporate sites individually and create a tailored optimization package for each site. In addition, and depending what is possible at our company locations, we install our own systems for generating renewable electricity and heat. These systems are combined with intelligent energy management and energy saving technology. So then, since 2022, we have been purchasing 100% green electricity for all our Krones AG German sites, and most of the largest international sites have also switched to using green energy. So, and other areas of actions include energy storage and electrification of the Krones vehicle fleet. So, these measures do not only reduce our own emissions, but they also directly impact the decarbonization of the value chain.
Awesome. Important steps you're taking there. But if we go back to the previous slide, scope 3 still is way too high, of course. So what can we do about that? Probably together, as you said. We have to do this together. So what can we do?
So for this, as I mentioned, we are working on making our machines even more efficient. And on the other end, there are solutions for making beverage production more sustainable. So let me give you a brief overview. So for example, the following levers helps to reduce emissions from generation of thermal energy. So adjust the process temperatures, electrification, which enables the integration of heat pumps, and using hot water instead of steam. Then when it comes to electrical energy, it's important to avoid peak loads, use renewable energy, and energy management systems. So, and key levers for reducing water consumption in production are optimized smart production planning, tailored cleaning processes, and water recycling and reuse. So we support our customers with our solutions and consulting services to shape a sustainable beverage production.
Awesome. Thank you so much for explaining this so well and making it easy also for us to follow. And I think you made very clear that sustainability for Krones is not a temporary trend. It's not a buzzword. It really is part of your DNA, and it has been for many, many years already, right? A true pioneer in this, that's for sure. When it comes to reaching our goals, of course, circular economy also plays a key role. And since Ines is our expert for that and live on stage now, I would like to zoom in on the beverage industry and have a closer look at what circular economy means for all of us.
Yes, Evelyn. And a warm welcome to all of you. When we are talking about using materials responsibly in circular economy, we have two big levers at Krones. First, our own operations, and second, our sustainable solutions for our customers. So, did you know that the recyclability of Krones machines and components is up to 97%? And did you know that a recycling rate of up to 100% can be achieved for bottles produced in our machines?
Who knew? Me neither. This is amazing. This is really impressive. Well done.
Thank you. But of course we don't rest on our laurels. And a responsible use of our resources does not only mean implementing recycling solutions. So let me show you all the strategies of the circular economy and how we manage to implement them at Krones. The first principle is refuse. At Krones we do everything to avoid hazardous substances. For example, no BPA in food contact materials. Rethink is another major strategy. By promoting circular developments, processes, and designs right from the beginning, a sustainable product transformation can be accomplished. The importance of the reduction of energy and media consumption has just been explained by Christopher, so I directly go to the next strategy, reuse. Krones is the most important supplier for full returnable systems, glass as well as PET. With our technology, glass bottles can be reused more than 50 times and PET bottles up to 25 times. The key principle, repair, has been part of our corporate philosophy and strategy from the very beginning. In addition, we offer the possibility to refurbish and to remanufacture components and products. For all those who are interested in this topic, we have a very exciting presentation by my colleague directly afterwards. Recover, also a really relevant strategy for our day-to-day activities, especially energy recovery. And last but not least, already mentioned at the beginning, our recycling solutions.
And we have come full circle. If
Exactly.
only it was that easy, right?
Exactly.
Amazing. All 9 strategies, of course, are super important, not to say crucial. But as you mentioned, there will be other presentations on the several topics. So I would like to delve deeper into the topic of recycling now, because that's also where Krones has been a true pioneer over years and years. So let's have a closer look at your solutions here and how you implement them, shall we?
Yeah, sure, Desiree. Let me explain how we managed to create a completely closed plastic cycle. Everything starts with the preform design and the injection molding of the preforms, followed by the stretch mold blowing process. Together with our customers, our design experts develop the best combination of individual requirements, lightweighting, and recycled content. But not only the bottle is relevant, also the caps and the secondary packaging materials must be taken into account. So that's why we recently developed a special secondary packaging solution.
And I bet you talk about light pack top.
Right. Our light pack top carton solution, with which we can save a lot of unnecessary plastic packaging material and reduce the CO2 emissions.
And it looks pretty cool as well. You may already have seen it in the video. It was very short in picture. But where can we see it here at the trade show?
Yes, everything related to the light pack top can be found at booth 33 over there.
Exactly over there. I think you can even see it from here. Awesome. You should take a closer look after the presentation. It's definitely worth it. But there's, of course, still applications where plastic, at least for now, is the best solution. So how do you deal with that?
Yes, with the MetaPure technology, we offer a solution to recycle PET bottles, but also other polymers like PE or PP into flakes and pellets. Finally, with the flake to preform process, the flakes are turned back into preforms and the loop is closed. Well, for more details, take the chance and talk to our experts here in Munich.
Of course, trade shows are a great opportunity to get into dialogue, exchange ideas, and who knows, maybe the next groundbreaking idea is just around the corner. So this is, of course, an opportunity that you, as you are here in Hall B6, definitely should take. But for now, and for everybody who is watching online via live stream, do you have an example of why and how it always pays off to invest in sustainability?
Yes. Let's consider an exemplary PET line to demonstrate the positive synergies between circular economy and environment. For a standard packaging solutions, you have round about 19,000 tons of greenhouse gas emissions per year and more than 130,000 cubic meters fresh water consumption. So when you focus on a more sustainable solutions by using green energy, lightweighting, and recycled materials, you can reduce the greenhouse gas emissions up to -73% and the fresh water consumption up to -75%. So these are massive savings.
It is massive savings indeed for our planet, which is so important. But bottom line, will we also benefit economically? Because, I mean, of course, you will have initial investments to make, and we are in a transition phase somehow. But what would you say? Is it possible to benefit both the planet and also our wallet?
Yes, together with our customers, we have a major impact through appropriate measures along the entire value chain. And of course, there's also a positive economic impact. For example, lightweighting saves material and thus costs. However, you mentioned it, we are still in a transitional phase, and the real benefits must be considered in the long term. But nevertheless, now is the time to prepare for the future. And with the right partners, developments, and solutions, we can achieve a lot. So, this is why we would like to invite you to a personal exchange with us.
I would love that, and I would love you to stick around a bit after the presentation. Maybe there will be 1 or 2 questions which we can answer then straight away. But for everybody who still has to make up their mind or sort their questions, where will you be during the entire day? Where can we find you and more about this topic?
You can find us at the sustainability booth, directly at the entrance.
Okay, and for everybody who watches online, we'll of course find all the information on the Krones website. Awesome. Ines, Christopher, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for joining us, also for you joining online, and looking forward to the next presentations already that you should definitely not miss. Thank you so much. Let's shape the future together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.